Welcome back, everyone, to the Cricket Podcast, where we're here to talk about the 100. As I promised, it will be more highbrow. It will be interesting. The conversation will be deep, engaging, thoughtful, and other impressive-sounding adjectives. Here's how we stand. We'll start with some standings. As I said on the last show, we're not going to do like a game-by-game thing, but we can do some general themes. On the men's side, the Oval Invincibles, they are pretty much running away with it, to be honest. A plus 2.3 net run rate, won 4 of their 5 matches, 3 matches to go. Be very surprised to see them miss the playoffs. And they're followed by the Trent Rockets and Northern Superchargers, who both have 12 points, which is the same as 3 wins. Not quite sure why the points are sort of, a factor of 2 when they should just be. Yeah, anyway, by the by, highbrow. Highbrow. And then there's like a little bit of a chasing pack that in 100 terms are actually a little way off the pace, and they're going to have to do something good to catch up, including the Southern Brave, Manchester Originals, Birmingham Phoenix, and I suppose London Spirit. And as is traditional, boys, the Welsh Firemen are at the bottom of the table with 1 win from 4 matches and an almighty smackdown in their weekend fixture against Oval. Max,
at least they have a win, unlike the Welsh Fire women who have.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, we'll flip over to the women. In the women's side, as you said, Max, the Welsh Fire women 0 from 4. Trent Rockets and Birmingham Phoenix haven't been very good either, if we're honest. And as a kind of counterpart to their men's side, the Oval Invincibles women, who were the sort of force of the early seasons of the women's 100, not having a vintage year this year with only a couple of wins from their 5 matches. But it's probably a little bit more interesting when it comes to like who will secure the top 3 and the all-important first place. With Southern Brave top of the table, 5 from 5. I mean, they are playing pretty well. And then London Spirit, Manchester Originals, and Northern Superchargers kind of in the mix, I would say, for that second and third, or those second and third spots. When you look at when I look at the table here, like there's a game in hand for the Northern Superchargers that can bring them level with Manchester Originals. London Spirit, if they win, they'll feel pretty good. If they lose, it could go either way. So that's where we stand. Max, you should have lied earlier and said you'd seen loads of the 100 action live, but I'm going to go over to you anyway because you are the Oval Invincibles super fan, as
That's
you
true.
made clear in your last segment when you went on a run about the Curran brothers. What's been up in the 100 this week? What's the biggest story that you can think of?
Well, I mentioned Sonny Baker's hat trick. That was pretty big. As we rightly said, or you rightly said, that is a thing that you want to do. The other thing that happened over the weekend was Oval Invincibles piling up the highest ever score in the men's 100 with 230. Was it 233?
226 is what I've got. Did they deduct some runs?
Oh, maybe. It's 226. I don't know where I got 33 from. 226 for 4, yeah. And smashed the Welsh Firemen into oblivion. That included Jordan Cox scoring 86 of 29 when he was at one point 8 of 8. So that's 78 of 21 balls. That's quite impressive. Jordan Cox, England squad, anyone?
He's not in there.
He's not in there.
No.
Another man who could maybe feel a little unfortunate to be left out. But the Oval Invincibles, after a little wobble against the Birmingham Phoenix, where, as also mentioned earlier on, Liam Livingston took Rashid Khan to the cleaners. They are, running away with it impressively, at least in terms of net run rate. So that was the highlight for me of the weekend, Jack. That onslaught from Jordan Cox and the Oval Invincibles, and Rashid Khan, he's back. That's good for cricket. He took 3 wickets and 5 balls last night against the Southern Brave, so he's looking good again as well. So that's good for cricket. Rashid Khan can bowl googlies again.
It's as long as he's playing Liam Livingston. Who, for some reason, is the greatest cricketer of all time when he plays Rashid Khan. There's been some stuff. I think like our opinion of the first week of the 100 was that it hadn't really delivered much in the way of drama or big stories. But we've got a New England bowler with a hat trick. We've got Jordan Cox. This is all the second time this season he's gone absolutely bananas on the team. I think he did it for Essex, got 130 odd in a T20, which is again like lots. That's good. So I think you're probably right, Max, that Jordan Cox can feel a little bit aggrieved that he hasn't made any of the England squads. And, you do have to look at their... I'd love to see the workings. Like when they say at school, do your maths problem and make sure you show the workings. And like, don't just write a random number in a box. I never really got that because I was like, if you can work it out in your head, what's the difference? But I guess, like from a teacher's perspective or a marker's perspective, you do actually want to know what the thought process is. And as fans, like all we're getting is the random number in the box, aren't we? And the number is Bethel. What is the
would you prefer the RCB like Mike Hesson videos behind the scenes?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to see. That's all workings and all. Well, I mean, not this year. The answers were right, but like historically, we got all the workings there, and all the workings were wrong, and the answer was wrong. But at least we knew where we
what they were doing wrong.
Yeah.
We're going to bid a lot.
So did RCB, and now they fixed it.
We don't actually want Steve Smith. We're going to bid a lot on Steve Smith. What about if no one else wants him? Doesn't matter. We're going to bid it anyway. Okay?
Trust me, bro.
It's draft strategy 101. Okay, all right. Delhi will go for him. Actually, Delhi did go for him.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Well, the games I think have been better. I think we needed a big score as well, like to prove that it, could be done. Basically, we were bored of 130 being the first innings target every single game in the first week. Or 140 if you were lucky. Sometimes 80 if someone was having a bad day. This was good. 226 is good, even though that game was rubbish. Is my take on that. Ross, what are your thoughts? Give us some thoughts.
Zach Crawley. What a player. We always thought he'd have a career in the white ball game, and now he's lighting it up for all the superchargers. He's hit the same amount of sixes as Josh Butler. So, guys, who are you preferring to have in your England team? That's what you really got to ask. And Josh Butler's
You're dropping Josh Butler now as well.
But maybe Zach Crawley is the future of the white ball game. I think overall it's been a little bit disappointing so far. And we've had reasonably all right weather as well. So I'm kind of just like, can you just make it 120 balls so we can get back to knowing exactly what a good score is and actually making sure that it's just easy for everybody. I don't quite like the language in it as well. Oh, we've got a set. We've got a set. Don't need that.
Whoever it was on Sky the other day or yesterday, I think it was, slipped. He said, good first over. I was like,
oh dear.
Oh,
That's the beginning.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Who was it? Name and shame.
I actually can't remember.
Oh.
But I think the coverage. I think the coverage is better, which I think is a positive, right? It's a little bit less grating, but I do just they do tie themselves in a bit of knots around the language that's used. But overall, the cricket is fine. I wouldn't say it's not quite probably what all the American multimillionaires really wanted it to be this year. There's not enough glitz and glamour that's happening, but yeah.
I mean, it's got better. There's been more batting. There's been some teams who've managed to defend scores. But what we were saying last week, Jack, wasn't there? That, I mean, there'd maybe been one good close game, and that's not really changed. Like since we last spoke, Northern Superchargers won off the last. It was a 6, wasn't it, to win it off the last ball? That's a good drama.
That is a good game.
Unreal.
That's the
everything else
of a good game.
Yeah, everything else has been very comfortable one way or another. So yeah. I don't know. One good game in like every 8 or 9. It's not doing it for me. And it's Welsh Fire's fault for being really shit again. How can you be so bad when you get to change your team every year after realizing that your team is bad? I don't get it.
There are. I mean, like we haven't really gone. We didn't really do like the season previews
No,
for it because for some reason this
we didn't have
started the
time.
day after like an absolutely titanic test series.
We were all sitting in
And
an old dark room
if
with
we
a
had,
towel over our head.
I think a few of these teams would have got an absolute hosing. There are some. I think this is part of the problem as well. Right, one, it's not 120 balls. There's a random other number of balls. I know it makes sense from like an idiot perspective, like make it 100, and it may even have been worth an experiment to see if it did work. But like a few years in, it's clear that it just like all the players can't really be bothered to figure out what the right number of runs to get is. Like the tactics are all weird. The power play isn't the right length. There's like a load of it that just is a little bit confusing if you watch cricket all the time. Ross talks about all the language and that like people are describing things and then you have to sort of it's like learning a dialect, isn't it? It's like going to the north and asking for a bacon roll and they don't know what you mean because they call it a bacon cob. And that sort of clash. I don't want that. I want to order a bacon roll and get a bacon roll. I want to have to learn what a cob is. And it feels a little bit like that with the language. So you've got all that, and then you look at some of the teams, and I think this is where now I've seen a few of them a few times. On the men's side, this is particularly. I am quite underwhelmed with like what some of these sides are putting out. Like I don't want to see David Warner and Kane Williamson. Like I know that are they good at T20 cricket in 2025 is a question that has been answered. Like there's not
one more innings.
One more innings. Williamson's case.
Yeah, I don't need to see it again. Like I see them play, and I'm like, what's the point of this? Like I'm not. This is like these are irrelevant cricketers in modern cricket. Like play two guys who had a good year in the Blast. Like I would rather, as a cricket fan, see that. And if you're like a casual, you probably don't know who Warner and Williams are anyway. If you just go along, you spend 40 quid and you go to drink some beers at Lord's, like Dave Warner, one of the sandpaper guys, maybe that's why you know him. But like you don't know anything about his history in the IPL or whatever. Like it's
Well, actually, I was having a chat with someone at work the other day who went to I think it was Spirit against Superchargers the other day, was it? Or it might be Spirit against Phoenix. One of the games. No, Trent. There you go. It was London Spirit against Trent, and it was just talking about how like David Warner and Kane Williamson, like these are the two main guys. Then David Warner got out for sixth, and was like, oh, but yeah, but they're really old. And it's like, but he was going with someone who didn't really know cricket. He'd never heard of the two of them, and it's basically just backing up your point. But yeah, no, you're right. But I think the issue you do have a lot of, I suppose, with a lot of this 100 stuff, if you're looking at say, oh well, let's pick someone from the Blast who's been good. There is a lot of just like, take Oval Invincibles and Surrey, for example. Like, oh yeah, well, we'll just have Sam Curran and we'll just have Tom Curran and we'll just have Will Jacks. Like, well, there's a bunch of people who are really good at T20 cricket because they play for our county. And London Spirit, you've got Middlesex to base on, and they're bad. They've got
and Essex,
Kane Williamson. Well, Essex, I suppose that's true. But Oval Nick's Jordan Cox. So, so I mean, like those, a lot of the top guys will have been spoken for already, I suppose, and then you are, I guess, a little bit dependent on, what county areas you represent, and you could get unlucky with that, I suppose. So there's I suppose there's a little disconnect between like the whole drafting element of the 100 and how it links to the counties, I think.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. You are probably right. Like Oval win because they're supposed to win, because like they had all the good players in the first place,
and then they got Rashid Khan.
Yeah, they had Zampa last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
So there's all that. I think on the women's side as well, the games haven't been as good this year. Like in the last couple, I think there is a problem with 100 matches not being good, and it might be unlucky, but I feel like a few seasons into it, the majority seem to be like not good games. Like when you watch the IPL, it feels like every 3 days there's a game that is at least interesting, like down to the last 10 balls of the game, maybe even the last 5 balls, and quite regularly down to sort of the last 2 or 3 balls
Yeah.
of
I mean, what we do
Doesn't
we
feel
do
like
review
that.
pods of 3 or 4 at a time, and there's not usually one where it can be just like, well, skip that one because nothing happens.
Yeah, I mean, if we're lucky and we're pressed for time, we'll get one where it was like a 30-run win or something like that, and we're happy. But like, and I feel maybe the women's 100 was a little bit closer in previous years, and I went through all the results today, and there are a handful of close games, but it's not by any means the rule. And like, if you then get, I don't know, I make it T20. It's just so obvious. Like, the answer is right there in front of you, and make
It
them
has
play
been there for about 3 years as well.
Yeah, there's no make them play a T20 at the speed they play a blast game. You can still fit adverts in between overs. Do what they do in American sports and have like adverts during the sport. Like this next ball will be presented by Seat Tires. I'm surprised the IPL haven't done this. Like it's the first ball of an over. That means it's the time for the Seat Tires advert during the ball. Like if that's if from a commercial perspective, just do that.
And it's
Maybe
displayed
they'll
on the site screen.
No, they'll use AI to replace the cricket ball with a tyre on your screen.
Oh,
and then
that'd be a great idea.
Hit out the ground.
Yes. And then as it
That'd be
goes, it
great.
creates a road. That is
What a journey that ball's on.
Exactly. What if the ball goes straight to the wicketkeeper and nothing happens? Then
Parks the car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's options. Look, there's options. Yeah, so there's all of that. Ross, any final words on the 100?
No, we'll report back. Max, are you going on Thursday? Are you going to go on Thursday?
No,
membership?
I'm not going on Thursday.
Jack, are you going on Thursday?
Don't think so.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, maybe I'll do a solo show from the ground. That could be some extra
That'd be
content
nice.
for our Patreons.
Record just record some audio there.
Just record the game. Just stand by it. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah. Are you going to the final this year?
I am, yeah. I've been to every
Yeah.
final. Every single one.
Nice.
That's good.
Mm.
Do the semi-final as well?
No, not doing that.
Okay.
Can't wait. Anyway, if our listeners are still listening after all this deference in this show, I'll be mightily impressed. But you should click like, click subscribe, and tell your friends about the show.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
good bits, anyway.
Maybe just send them the bit about Strictly Come Dancing. Clip it up. Just being like, got some gossip for you. Mark Wood and I don't know any of the Strictly Come Dancers. I should have made one up, and I got away with that.
Yeah.
Tatiana Milinkovic. There's probably a Tatiana,
Careful.
isn't there? I think that was. What do you mean careful? Look, it's the end of the podcast. Mark Wood's on Strictly. Goodbye.